New at 6 tonight, we're reaching out to officials after more than a dozen governors across the country say they will not accept Syrian refugees. Good evening. I'm Marissa Holloway.
And I'm Joey Parker. Right now, Missouri is not one of those states. Today's developments come 3 days after terror attacks in Paris killed more than 130 people. One of the suspects had a Syrian passport.
ABC 17's Lindsay Burning joins us now live in our newsroom. And Lindsay, Governor Nixon just weighed in on the issue this afternoon.
Yes, Marissa, I reached out to Governor Nixon's office this morning, and just in the last few hours, he released a statement saying it's the responsibility of federal officials to implement a strong screening process for incoming refugees. But he did not join the governors to refuse those refugees here in Missouri. Now, just within the last half hour, nearly 20 senators have sent a letter urging Governor Nixon to do so. Today, governors in more than a dozen states say they will not take in Syrian refugees.
When we see the dangers that were caused by Syrian refugees in Paris, it is imperative that Texas do everything we can to ensure that we don't have a Syrian refugee sneak into the state of Texas who can pose a similar terroristic danger.
Although Governor Nixon hasn't refused the refugees in Missouri, local refugee and immigration services say they don't believe the state will resettle Syrian refugees anytime soon.
One of the reasons also for the delay is the extensive vetting and background check on any refugee that is resettled in the United States.
Some other states have an agreement with the federal government to expedite the process in light of the current emergency situation, but Missouri does not.
We've been asked to increase our numbers of those refugees for the coming year, but they will not be coming from Syria because of the extent of the process, the length of time.
Still, state leaders are asking Governor Nixon to halt the process entirely. In a letter to Governor Nixon, Lieutenant Governor Peter Kinder said, quote, "I urge you to refuse to accept any of the Syrian refugees being located to Missouri." Senator Roy Blunt says, quote, "Now is not the time to accept Syrian refugees in the U.S. absent a proper vetting system." But Van Gundy says the process is extensive.
It's probably the most thorough background check of anything that is done for anybody. And again, that's why it takes months and years many times to get people certified to come.
The U.S. has accepted nearly 2,000 Syrian refugees since 2011, and yesterday President Obama says he still plans to accept nearly 10,000 Syrian refugees next year. Reporting live in the newsroom, Lindsay Burning, ABC 17 News.
Thanks, Lindsay. Right now, it's still unclear if the governors can override the federal government to refuse the refugees.